The Jason Giambi show had some significant co-stars last night, and the crowd loved it. Okay, that guy did. It was the Bronx Bombers by the Bay as the Yankees jumped to an early lead. But on this night, well, David Wells didn't have it. Battling, persevering, but eventually squandering the lead to the point where it was very tough to watch. But in the end, the star of the show excelled in the spotlight, and today he'll try to make it 3 in a row. Next on Yes. On a beautiful sun-splashed day in the East Bay, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. And in a baseball matinee, the Yankees take on the Oakland Athletics, and they try to complete a 3-game sweep from the Network Associates Coliseum. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. The focus has been on Jason Giambi, but let's shift the focus for one day. We'll shift the focus towards shortstop because both shortstops have done a great job. We'll start with the Yankee shortstop, Derek Jeter.
Something about the West Coast seems to set off Derek Jeter, and he always plays well out this way, and last night was no exception. In the second inning, this is a 3-run homer. Really broke the game open for the Yankees early. Of course, they had the rally to win it, but Derek Jeter seems to play well out here on the West Coast.
Look at the numbers here in the Coliseum. 393, 5 homers, and 23 runs batted in. That's in 33 games. Yesterday, he was 2 for 4. The home run, 2 runs scored, and 3 runs batted in. The other shortstops not too bad either. Miguel Tejada had a great night again.
A great night again. He's had 2 hits in this series, both of them home runs. In the opening game against El Duque, takes him deep. The Yankees won the game 2-1, and last night he hit another one, a 2-run shot for Miguel Tejada, but the Yankees went on to win that one as well. So home run power from the shortstops in this series.
And for both shortstops, it's going to be tough to get hits this time because the pitching matchup is a dandy. The Nissan pitching matchup, Nissan driven. Mike Messina's off to a great start. He opposes Barry Zito, the young left-hander, 0-1 with a 4.37 ERA. The Moose returns home. He went to school in Stamford. Let's see if the Oakland fans brought the Moose call. We know they can boo. All that next on Yes. Back here at the Network Associates Coliseum, the Oakland A's have taken the field as they try to avoid a sweep at the hands of the Yankees. And the Yankees starting lineup today is brought to you by Jeep. There's only one, and it's only at your tri-state Jeep dealer. For the Yankees, Alfonso Soriano leads off. He'll play second base. Bernie Williams in center. Derek Jeter's the shortstop batting third. Jason Giambi is at first base. He will bat cleanup, 4 for 8 in this series, 2 doubles and 3 runs batted in. Jorge Posada will catch. Rondell White's in left. The DH is Ron Coomer. Shane Spencer's in right, and the third baseman, Enrique Wilson, will bat ninth. The Yankees trying to get right-handers into the lineup against the lefty Barry Zito.
Barry Zito this year's gotten off to a slow start. 4 starts. He has yet to win. His earned run average certainly inflated for him. 22 hits and 22 in the third innings. 3 home runs, 12 walks. That's the key. He's walked too many, 21 strikeouts. The Yes scouting reporter on Barry Zito, he's had trouble with his command, moving his fastball in and out of the strike zone. He still possesses that great curve, maybe the best in the league, and he's never beaten the Yanks during the regular season.
In 5 starts overall, that includes the postseason, he has a 1.69 ERA. But that's only good enough for 1 and 2. So whoever opposes him shuts down the A's. This is the A's defense behind Zito. Jeremy Giambi is in left, Terrence Long in center. Mike Colangelo over in right. David Justice slightly strained his groin in yesterday's game. Eric Chavez at third. Miguel Tejada at short. Frank Menechino, the second baseman. Carlos Pena is at first. Greg Myers gets to start behind the plate. He's thrown out 3 of 8 base stealers. And on the mound, as we mentioned, the 23-year-old Barry Zito. Mike Messina will pitch for the Yankees, so Zito knows he has to keep the Yankee offense pretty much down to 1 or 2 runs. A reminder, Yankee baseball is broadcast in Spanish. It is available by hitting the SAP button on your television. Well, the Yankees won 2-1 the first night here in Oakland. They won 8-5 last night, and they are trying for the sweep before they head out to Seattle for a 3-game set this weekend at Safeco Field. Alfonso Soriano digs in. Barry Zito is ready, and we are ready for baseball here on Yes. And Zito deals. Fastball up and in.
First pitch, 36.
Soriano hitting .400 against left-handed pitching this year. Not so bad against righties, as you can see, by that average.
Swings and misses, and a pitch diving down and in.
Soriano had a couple of doubles here in last night's game. He leads the league in that category with 13.
He's come a long way in a year last year after this many games. 277, hitting 379 today. Checks his swing on a fastball up and away. Also, the slugging percentage has improved. 415 after 22 games last year. He's slugging at 642 this year.
Right away, we've seen two fastballs that were high and not near the zone for Zito.
Way outside.
He's had trouble with his command this year, and this is the guy who won his last 9 starts last year. 9 in a row. Finished the season off and then pitched well in the postseason. But this year he has yet to get on track.
And the 3-1 upstairs, so he did not come close on most of those pitches. Soriano starts out the first inning with a walk.
The numbers on Barry Zito from a year ago: his last 9, 9-0. His first 4 this year, he's 0-1. Look at that earned run average and the opponent's batting average from last year: 1.37 and 194. So he went into the postseason with a bang.
A lot of people say that when you have young pitchers, that second and third year really might expose them, and also they run into a little bit of a physical wall. You wonder if that's what's happening to Barry Zito.
He's got great stuff, though. You can see the fastball will pop. He just can't seem to put it where he wants to, and his curveball may be the best in the league.
Bernie fakes bunt, takes a strike.
Bernie is 6 for his last 16. You mentioned that the fans who are interested in listening to this game in Spanish can just push that SAP button on their TV. Well, we have best wishes to Armando Talavero. People are listening in Spanish. Armando back home in New York, simulcasting this game in Spanish. Toss to first base. And from Amori P. Gonzalez, who does the games for the Giants in Spanish, sends his best wishes back east to his friend Armando.
Armando, a good man. There is Orlando Cepeda, the baby boo, watching this game.
Hall of Famer.
Looking stylish. Go to first, and Soriano's back.
Of course, with Myers being a backup catcher, we mentioned he's thrown out 3 of 8, but that's not a big sampling. And the Yankees, with especially Soriano and Jeter, and the possibility of a low-scoring game with Zito on the mound, you might want to take 90 feet at a time when you can get it.
He bluffed and then stopped. Myers was coming out of his crouch quickly. The pitch was upstairs.
Soriano with a pretty good lead with a lefty on the mound, and there's that start and then stop that Michael was talking about. You see Zito dropping down as if he were gone.
Now, you think that was a bluff, or did he just not get a good jump and stopped himself?
I think he sensed something. I think the real good base stealers, they sense something when they take off. If something's not right, either they feel it's a pitch out or something, they can put on the brakes.
That one swung on and missed, a curveball.
That's the curve that even has impressed Joe Torre over the years. He even invoked the name of Sandy Koufax. Of course, Joe got to hit against Sandy Koufax years ago, and Sandy's curveball reminiscent of, or Zito's curve reminiscent of Sandy's. Hitters feared that curve.
That's pretty high praise. And the 1-2, grounded foul.
He doubled up, and that was a better one than the first one. And from a hitter standpoint, when you see a curveball like that, you have a tendency to give up on it because it looks so high in the air. It looks like it cannot possibly come back down into the strike zone, but somehow you get such snap on it, good rotation, and that ball just abruptly dives for the strike zone.
Goes to first, and Soriano's back. That leadoff walk, it really has to take away from the concentration of Zito toward the batter, and probably driving him nuts that he walked Soriano.
Well, you notice he missed with the fastballs, and now he's throwing curves to Bernie Williams.
Well, it goes. The pitch is swung and grounded to shortstop. They only have one play. That's at first. So sending the runner kept them out of a double play. So Soriano now in scoring position for Derek Jeter.
That's the sort of thing that the running game will do for you, though. You notice that the A's do not run very much at all. So by having Soriano on the move, only one play for Tejada, instead of being backed out of an inning, you got a runner in scoring position with a chance to take the lead early in the early going.
At the start, we told you Jeter's numbers on the West Coast, 393. And he is one of the few Yankees with good numbers against Zito, 4 for 9 with a home run. Soriano goes. The throw to third is in time. Good scoop by Chavez, and he nails Soriano going to third. So make it 4 out of 9 now that Myers is thrown out.
Soriano trying to get himself to third base with 1 out. And the pitch was just about perfect for Myers to throw on. It was a fastball in, and he's moving in that direction. Gets to throw to third. And a good play by the third baseman, Chavez, to scoop it out of the dirt and then make the tag.
And the pitch to Jeter is fouled back.
Here's an even better look at that tag. Here's the scoop, and there's the glove. Soriano has not arrived as of yet. He's out of there.
It's a great shot by our crew.
Wow. Hope the fans at home are brushing the dirt off their couches.
Yeah, you were right there.
Oh, yeah.
Jeter reaches out and fouls it off. Now, for those of you new to the game, you don't make the first or the third out at third base. That's cardinal rule. But you can make the second out because you are putting yourself and your team in a better position, because if he's at third with 1 out, he could score on a fly ball, he could score on a ground ball. But with nobody out, you can get to third base on a ground ball anyway, so you don't make the first out at third, and you of course don't make the third out. Tried to change up there and bounced it.
So far this inning, it looks like Zito is pitching pretty much the way he has pitched this year. Not really command of all of his pitches. And with the Yankee lineup not going to swing at very many bad pitches, his pitch count could go up very quickly.
And the 1-2 is driven to left center field, converging Giambi and Long, and Terrence Long makes the call on the catch for the final out of the inning. Well, the Yankees waste a leadoff walk in the top of the first. They do not score, and now Mike Messina will take his chance on the mound. The A's coming to bat. You're out. Barry Zito, and now it's time for Mike Messina. And the A's lineup is brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep dealers. Jeep, the most award-winning brand of 4x4s on earth. Jeremy Giambi, the brother, will lead off and play left field. Frank Menachino at second. Scott Hatterberg, the DH. Eric Chavez, the third baseman, will bat cleanup. Miguel Tejada, the shortstop, will bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing center field, Terrence Long. Greg Myers will catch and bat seventh. Mike Colangelo in right field bats eighth. And the rookie Carlos Pena at first base will bat ninth. This series, 1 for 6. That won a double. He has struck out 4 times.
The numbers on Mike Messina, and they're very good. 4 starts, 3-0. The earned run average, very good. 28 in the third inning, 17 hits, 5 home runs, only 4 walks, and 22 strikeouts for the Moose. His Yes scouting report: power. He's got that good fastball, mid-90s. Finesse. He's got a knuckle curve, knuckle change, and those two things help keep the hitters off balance.
Defensively, behind Messina, we'll get to that at the Giambi comes to the plate. Jeremy in this series is 2 for 8. And he got those 2 hits in the first game, matching his brother hit for hit. But he did not get a hit last night, and Jason got 2 more.
Jeremy had an 8-game hitting streak broken in last night's game by a combination of Yankee pitchers.
And the pitch by Messina is a strike. Jerry Lane is the home plate umpire. Hunter Wentelstedt is at first. Mike DeMuro at second, and Ed Montague is at third. Giambi's gotten off to a nice start in the leadoff spot. And there's a strike. Looks like early Jerry Lane has a little bit of a wide strike zone, and that will help Mike Messina.
Oh, immensely. Messina is a master of expanding the strike zone, getting ahead with strikes, then making hitters chase pitches out of the zone. getting themselves out.
And the 0-2.
Something like that. Ooh, that caught Jerry Lane on the right hand or wrist. Trying to get Giambi to chase a breaking ball in the dirt. It wasn't close enough to strike zone. Got by Posada and caught Jerry Lane.
Amazingly, Posada left yesterday's game, and they thought he had a groin pull. And that was late in the game. I believe it was in the 8th inning. And here he is back in the game, day game after night game. So I guess it was a cramp. Yankees really were holding their breath last night. The 1-2. Popped up, right center field, converging Spencer and Bernie Williams makes the play. 1 down.
Messina 13-7 lifetime against these A's.
You know, Bernie Williams is in center. He just made the catch, sandwiching him in the outfield, White in left and Spencer in right. In the infield, Enrique Wilson makes his first start at third. Jeter, Soriano, and Giambi left to right. Posada, as we mentioned, behind the plate. And Mike Messina is on the mound. Menachino is 0 for 8 in this series. And the pitch is high.
He's kind of hit a dry spell with the bat. The native of Staten Island is 3 for his last 30 and 0 for his last 14.
There's a strike. Frank is from Staten Island. And we would hope that somebody at Staten Island would tell him to stop chewing that stuff. Get it out of your cheek. Looks like Sparky Lyle. There's a strike. You don't see that, thankfully, as much as you used to.
Yeah, because in the minor leagues, they've banned it. They've banned tobacco, and players don't get the habit at an early stage of their careers in the minor leagues, and by the time they get to the big leagues, they see other players, and that's what a lot of players go to now. Sunflowers.
Blocked by Posada.
Might be bubble gum though. You never know, Mike.
It doesn't look like he's chewing it.
Yeah.
It looks like he's just hanging there.
You know, one thing that the tobacco chewers used to tell you: don't put the wad of tobacco on the side of your face where you're facing the batter, because it makes your eyes squint.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you should have the chew on the other side. You should have him in the right cheek.
Well, he had a squint at that one. He goes down on strikes, 2 away, and that'll bring up Hatterberg.
If you think about it, you get big enough and it kind of squints your face up and closes your lead eye. There's a swing and a miss on a look like a knuckle curve. And the batting troubles and woes continue for Frank Menachino. He's now 0 for his last 15.
And there's Robin Ventura with some sunflower seeds.
You know, I heard that first. I heard that from Rod Carew, who used to chew. And he used to, but he had the wad, being a left-handed hitter, he had it in his left cheek.
There's Hatterberg. There's a strike. You ever chew when you were younger?
One time when I was playing that deal.
Didn't like it.
No.
Don't quite get the attraction. The 0-1 is inside.
Hatterberg's been playing pretty well. He's got a 4-game hitting streak. Been hitting the ball well to the opposite field. Hit an opposite field home run here the other day against the Angels.
Fouled away. You know, if you look at this lineup, Ken, you know, you just want to dismiss, if you're the A's, you want to dismiss the loss of Jason Giambi. But boy, does Jason Giambi lend something to that lineup that it doesn't have. Hatterberg's batting third now. Giambi would probably be fourth or third, and then Chavez would follow him. That's a big difference.
Yeah, the run scoring from the A's is down, and their on-base percentage as a team down as well.
That one is lined down the right field line, a foul ball. Hunter Wendelstedt says foul. Scott Hatterberg can't believe it. Mike Quade, the first base coach, also thinks it was fair. And I'll tell you the truth, Kenny, naked eye, I thought that was a fair ball.
I thought I saw some chalk pop up in the air when the ball was hit. Now, that might have been just dirt, but here's a look. Line drive down the line. Oh, did that look like some chalk pop up?
Yeah.
Wow. That would tell you automatically that, wow.
Fair ball.
My goodness. Hunter Wendelstedt might get a reprimand from his dad, Harry, if he's watching this one.
Well, Art Howe very calm about things, and why not? He just had his option picked up on his contract. He will now manage the A's through the 2003 season, but he knows that that was a bad call.
Wow. Hunter's dad, longtime umpire Harry Wendelstedt, and here's a Hatterberg. Who knows? He might have been robbed of a two-base hit.
One-two is hit sharply through for a base hit, so he doesn't get the double, but he gets a single. I wonder if Wendelstedt knows that he blew that call. I know managers don't mind it when an umpire said, listen, I blew it.
Yeah, that's true. If they turn and say, well, I didn't see it, or I was out of position, that's their excuse. But I mean, he was right there. All he had to do was turn around. And everybody saw the chalk pop up.
Here's Eric Chavez. Yankees have held him down in this series 0-4-7. Hardy cut 0-1.
We mentioned during the series, Chavez is a former #1 draft pick, and in '98 in the minor leagues, he was Baseball America's Minor League Player of the Year. And that was the first time that it happened in the A's organization since Jose Canseco was in the minors.
Their farm system has done a great job, and when you're the Oakland Athletics and you have a limited ability to spend money, if your farm system doesn't produce, then your team's bad. Chavez has good numbers against Messina, 5-4-12. A little bit low, and what the A's have done is they've taken those young players and they've inked them the long-term contracts that fit into their system, and they did that with Chavez. You have to make a call early, though, on them to see if you really think that they're good. If you are, then you commit that money to them and the length of contract. Swan had missed fastball.
In the early going here for Chavez, it's been a home run or nothing. About half of his hits are home runs this season. I know he comes in hitting at 233. His average should go up. Here's a guy hit over 30 home runs last year and hit well over 300 in the second half of the season.
Here's the 2-2. Swan missed. He struck him out. Another fastball. Beautifully placed by Mike Messina. No runs a hit, no errors, and one left. When we get back, that man will be at the plate. It's been interesting for 2 games. Let's see how he goes in Game 3.
The greatest names.
And Mattingly hits it deep to right field.
The greatest games.
David Wells has pitched a perfect game.
The greatest franchise.
Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Relive the greatest pinstripe moments with Yankees Classics, only on Yes. Yankees Classics, the greatest Yankees games ever, only on the Yes Network, the home of champions.
Golf Digest is going to cure your slice now and for free.
And that's a guarantee.
Introducing the breakthrough video, Cure Your Slice Now, and it's free with your paid subscription to Golf Digest magazine. In this video, top PGA instructor Chuck Cook shows you the 7 key phases of the swing and gives you his proven method for better control and longer, straighter drives. And here's our guarantee. If Golf Digest and Cure Your Slice Now doesn't cure your slice and improve your game, cancel and keep the video free.
Golf Digest is your source for golf.
Every month in Golf Digest, you get easy-to-follow tips and instruction from the best teachers and players in golf. Information on the top equipment, the best places to play, thought-provoking commentary. You also get this removable Pocket Tips booklet. Call now. Use your credit card and get your first risk-free issue, Pocket Tips booklet and video free. You get 11 more issues for only $19.77. If your game doesn't improve, cancel and keep the video, booklet, and magazine free.
So call 800-648-4835. That's 800-648-4835. Call now.
Nothing after 1. We go to the second inning, and Jason Giambi comes to the plate, and the boos still rain down. Oh, look at that. Somebody remembers, and another person remembers. A happy, happy man. And the pitch to Giambi's a strike. What's great about that guy is trying to rip the shirt, realized he wasn't strong enough, then just tossed it away.
You know it wasn't his shirt. It's somebody else's.
Giambi is 4 for 8 in this series. And that one is fouled back. I spoke to Jason before the game, and I said, I'm kind of amazed that you've been able to respond so well under such adverse situations. And he said, not really. He said, because when I get in that batter's box in this ballpark, it's home. It feels so natural. The background is just the way I like it. He goes, and I really don't hear anything when I'm in the box. He said you hear it when you walk to the box, but when you get in the batter's box, it's out. Jason said, I spent so much time here, it's actually helping get my swing right. This was home, and I feel comfortable to play here. It was big to get a couple of hits and come through. It feels nice to contribute. Fouls went off. He said he still feels as if it's coming at Yankee Stadium. He said that's still foreign to me. So remember, we did not play that many games in Yankee Stadium over the years. He said, you know, sometimes 3 with the playoffs, 6. He goes, I don't feel comfortable in that box yet, but that will come. He said, not because of the fans. It's not because of the contract. And you can see he's more comfortable on the road. 340, 2 and 8, and home games 206. Popped up foul third base side, but no one's there to get that. There's a lot of foul territory, and they have the shift on with 3 infielders on the right side. And Eric Chavez is playing pretty much shortstop, so he couldn't get near it.
You mentioned he's starting to swing the bat better, feel more comfortable. He's 10 for his last 28, and currently on a mild 3-game hitting streak. But I think overall, you can start seeing him getting better swings and making better contact.
And the 1-2 way inside. It must be very odd for the Zitos and the Hudsons to pitch Giambi. I mean, he was their teammate. He was their leader. And in game 1, Hudson said, I never saw him so serious as when I stared at him in the batter's box. That one is lined to right field. Colangelo is there. And he'll put it away off the end of the bat, so he didn't get any lift on it.
You know, talking about him being so serious in the box, that's just what the rest of the American League knows. Now they're learning firsthand. This is how Zito tried to work him over. Started with fastballs, tried to drop a hook, went with another one. It's fouled off. Fastball up, fouled away. Saw a lot of pitches in this at-bat. That's good as he flies out on the curveball. I always felt the more pitches you could see in your first at-bat against a pitcher would help you later on in the game.
And it also helps the guys after you. Posada get a good look at Zito and the stuff he has today, and he fouls it back. Posada 0 for 8 lifetime against Zito. And so far in the first 2 games of this series, he's 3 for 8. He's gotten off to a nice start. 329, 2 homers, and 16 runs batted in.
You were right about last night when Posada left the game with an apparent injury. And, anytime a player starts flexing the leg and you think about hamstring or groin, and that can take a while, but it's amazing. He's back in the lineup today, and I'm sure Joe Torre let out a sigh of relief if he's able to put the name of Jorge Posada back in the lineup this afternoon. Day game after a night game.
Just a bit outside.
Posada has been a 50-50 hitter on the right, hitting 500 right-handed this year.
That one is popped up short center field. Tejada is there, and he'll put it away for the second out of the inning. This was Posada last night. And you can see the grimace right there.
Yeah, when he grounded out, you can see how long it took him to get the first base. Right there, something pulled. And he was grimacing and had to leave the ball game for a pinch runner.
Here's Rondell White. Pitch is inside. Did it get him? Yes, it did. So Rondell White hit by a pitch. Zito tried to come up and in on him, and White couldn't get out of the way.
Another look as Rondell White stands fairly close to the plate. You see that back elbow and arm as he tried to get out of the way, and hit him just above the wrist, I believe, on the right arm. It got Greg Myers, too, right in the mask.
Here's Ron Coomer making his 4th start of the year. And so far on the season, 3 for 8, obviously limited duty. His first time up as a Yankee hit a home run. And that was at Yankee Stadium.
This is the first time he started as a designated hitter. So far, it's been only Nick Johnson or Jason Giambi.
There's a strike. This is an adjustment for Coomer. Coomer's used to playing a lot, and that is not his role on this Yankee team. Robin Ventura will get most of the starts at third base, and as you mentioned, the DH spot is pretty much sewn up. So he's going to have to take advantage when he does get in there. That one is grounded left side. Chavez fields. He goes the short way, and that'll do it for the Yankees in the 2nd. No runs, no hits, no errors, and because of the hit by pitch, 1 man left. After an inning and a half here in Oakland, no score. You're watching Yankees baseball on the YES Network. New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by Corona Extra. Relax and enjoy an ice-cold Corona Extra. And by Continental Airlines, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Continental Airlines. Work hard, fly right. The Bay Bridge, which connects San Francisco with Oakland. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon here in the East Bay. It's lovely Northern California day. Here is Miguel Tejada to start it off against Mike Messina. And pitches inside.
Tejada's batting average at 247 kind of belies the fact that he's on a 7-game hitting streak, and one of the reasons, not many of those have been multi-hit games. He has 2 hits in this series, 1 in each game, but they've been homers.
And there's a base hit through the left side of the infield for Tejada.
Now batting number 12, Terrence Long, center field.
He is the Barry White of PA announcers. Roy Steele. Oh, man.
Got that booming voice. Here's Terrence Long.
You're trying to make your voice deeper, aren't you?
I've been trying for years. It's not happening. Pitch is outside. I think he takes a little bit of a different tack than Bob Shepard. A little bit more theatrical.
Didn't expect to hear an old baby come out of it.
Long 5 for 10 lifetime against Messina. In this series, he's 2 for 8. That's got to impress you anytime you see a batter have those sort of numbers against a great pitcher like Messina.
Long, like Tejada, comes in with a hitting streak and an extended one of that. He's had a hit on every game of this homestand, and that gives him an 8-game hitting streak. And speaking of Messina, he has won 8 straight decisions going back to last year. That ties the longest streak in his career. So if he wins this one, that would give him 9 at a new career high games in winning streak. So something on the line for Messina this afternoon.
Now, one thing we want to remind people about those stats are regular season stats. Because
exactly.
Messina did lose a postseason game. I believe he lost game 1 of the World Series after a very long layoff. But those are only regular season stats. Messina did have a great game here that kept the Yankees postseason alive. And it was against Barry Zito, a 1-0 victory in Game 3. Yankees down 2-0. That was the famous Derek Jeter flip game. And there is the matchup from the ALDS Game 3. Messina went 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. And Zito was great as well. 8 innings, 2 hits, a run, 1 walk, and 6 Ks. And I really felt that game turned the tide because the A's said, wow, this guy pitched such a great game and we couldn't put the Yankees away. And then they started to think about
The
this.
Yankee run, if I'm not mistaken, was a home run by Jorge Posada to win the game. And I like Luis Sojo's quote after the division series. They made a mistake by letting us win one. Then the Yankees came back and won 3 straight.
That one is grounded up the middle. Jeter is right there. It'll be a double play. Playing long perfectly. And in one swing, you get 2 outs.
I think when this ball was hit, Mike Messina thought it was headed for center field because he couldn't flag it down. You see Derek Jeter barely see his hat there, and the ball's by Messina, and all of a sudden Jeter's there. Thank goodness for positioning. And this will turn into an easy double play.
Ken, I don't know if you agree with me, but I think that Jeter has never played shortstop better.
You know, this year he doesn't have the bum shoulder to deal with like he did last year. Remember the beginning of last year, he had a lot of errors, a lot of throwing errors and problems getting the ball across the diamond. This year he is very fluid, and his arm is strong, no problems coming out of spring training. At neck for a little while, but that wasn't anything major. And I think you're right. He's only made 1 error so far this season, and he has looked just spectacular.
And the 0-1. There's a strike, and his legs aren't bothering him. Last year, he had no range to his left. If he hit a ball up the middle, it was a base hit. But he's showing great range behind second base this year. That's outside. "75 chances for Derek Jeter, just 1 error. Taking part in 7 double plays.
Myers and Messina were teammates briefly when Myers was in Baltimore a couple of years back. So they have hooked up time and time as a battery. Greg Myers, a good veteran catcher, veteran left-handed hitting catcher. Quick stroke.
That pitch is swung on and missed, so Messina ends the second with a strikeout. His 3rd strikeout of the game. No runs a hit, no errors, and because of the double play, nobody left on base. We played 2. No score here in Oakland.
Fans, this Sunday night at 8, join my colleague Michael Kay as he sits down for an hour with actor-comedian Dennis Leary on the Yes Network series Center Stage. From his comedy and movie roles to his love of all things sports, it's a laugh-filled hour when Dennis Leary takes center stage Sunday night at 8 right here on Yes. That must have been fun, Michael.
It was laugh-filled. He was very funny guy. Tormented because he grew up a Red Sox fan, so it has not been a great life sports-wise for him. Shane Spencer leads up against Cito, and there's a strike. No score after 2, and sometimes the games live up to the billing.
No, he's not the only Red Sox fan that feels that way.
Yeah, you're right. There's a strike.
Spencer getting a start against the left-hander today. Both of Spencer's home runs at Yankee Stadium.
The 0-2. Outside. It's terrible if you're in a platoon situation and you're the right-handed part of the platoon, because only 20% of the starters in baseball are left-handed.
And those numbers kind of fit the lifetime stats of Shane Spencer. Coming into this season, a .330 hitter against left-handed pitching. Now the right-handers not nearly as well, and eventually he might get a chance to get back out there against a few righties.
I thought his chance was going to be when he hit the first home run against Willis Roberts. And then he was in the lineup the next day, and I believe he had another home run. But then he calmed down. Of late, 5 for 22.
Now, there was some question whether Spencer actually swung the bat, but the umpire said no.
3-2 is lofted into right center field. That is going to dunk in for a base hit. Broken bat. He'll take it, though, as he leads out the 3rd inning with a single.
First hit of the game for the Yankees. You're right. You'll take it. You take anything. They've been sitting for a few days. The Yankees have been facing some right-handers. Gets a chance to play. That ball was kind of near the label. But with his strength, just flipped it in the right center field for a base hit.
He can run for a big guy, so let's not discount the possibility he might go. Maybe a hit and run with Enrique Wilson. Maybe Wilson bunts. The A's are thinking that as Chavez comes in.
Well, Wilson actually squared around, starting at third base for the first time this season. You can see Chavez in on the grass, and first baseman Carlos Pena will be charging.
He bunts it right back to the mound. Zito thought about it and will flip to first. So the sacrifice is successful. You score at 1-3.
You know, what's interesting about that, both these teams do not sacrifice very often. They rely on their lineups to score for them, and you know, they know they one swing of the bat. These are the 2 leading home run hitting teams in the league. The Yankees first and the A's are second. So the bunt doesn't come into play very often for either one of these ball clubs.
But that bunt right there, Ken, is a referendum on the pitching matchup.
Exactly, with Barry Zito, and the fact that he's pitched so well against the Yankees in the past that Joe Torre knows that 1 run might mean an awful lot.
And he knows that his guy isn't going to give up many runs, so it is a good time to sacrifice. Here is Soriano. He walked in the first inning. Zito deals. There's a strike.
That is just the second sacrifice bunt for the Yankees as a team this year. The A's have 1. The Red Sox have 1.
Checks a swing and a high fastball. This is not a sack bunt league, though. In the National League, obviously, the pitcher is always trying to bunt.
Yeah, the top teams in the league have 8. Baltimore, Chicago, and Seattle. The White Sox with 8 sacrifice bunts.
That's odd.
Yeah, as much as they've been scoring.
Swung and a miss. Do you have the National League stats?
Yeah, they're around here somewhere. I ventured to look at them. National League sacrifices, 11 for Milwaukee. Make that 23 for Montreal.
Oh my goodness.
23 That's why they're in first place.
Foul back. Frank Robinson with some National League baseball. No score here in the top of the third inning. And there's strike 3. Backdoor breaking ball whispered across the outside corner, so Soriano is down looking. And that leaves it up to Bernie Williams.
Yeah, first strikeout for Zito in the game, and misses a heck of a hook. Dropped right out of the sky and over the outside corner for call strike 3, and it buckled the knees of Soriano.
And he thinks about it.
Sometimes you got to tip your cap to the pitcher. You just made a heck of a pitch. Good for you. I'll be back. 8 more guys come to the plate, then it's my turn again.
Bernie grounds one left side. On the glove side, Chavez across the diamond, and that'll do it. Zito works out of trouble. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. After 2.5, no score here in Oakland. Mike Colangelo will lead off for the Athletics here in the third inning. And the pitch is a strike. You know, if you say his name quick enough, it's a pretty famous name, Michelangelo.
He's got a high ceiling, this guy.
Oh! Kenny got his sleep. That's a little low.
Colangelo actually played his baseball for the Padres last year. Hit his first major league home run, and he got it off a brand name pitcher, Tom Glavine.
Not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
That one's popped up. Soriano, the sun glinting off his glasses, backpedals and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Sunday night at 9, go inside the pinstripes with a look at the life and career of the captain, Thurman Munson, on Yankeeography. The 7-time All-Star catcher led the Yankees to their second World Championship in a row just a year before his tragic death. For the whole story, don't miss the premiere of Yankeeography, Thurman Muncie. Sunday night at 9, right here on Yes. Again, I have heard from several people who were involved in making that show that it is the best one yet. They've all been great, but that is supposed to be a really special Yankeeography. Here's Carlos Pena. And there's a strike. I told the story the other day. John Sterling is the host of that show, and as he was hosting and putting the stuff together, he was crying. I mean, the guy didn't cry working with me 10 years on radio, so this made him cry.
That's
so
what you think. Never let him see you sweat or cry.
Well, he hit it well. Pena 1 for 6 in this series, 4 strikeouts. The 0-1. Swung and a missed. High fastball.
Young Mr. Pena's played every inning of every game so far for the A's, and more often than not, he's batted in the 9th spot, which it takes you a while to get to the plate, but I think with Art Howe, he doesn't want to place him in a pressure situation right away. And this guy's hit 6 home runs. I think he's going to be a good ball player in this league for a long time.
That's what the Yankees are doing with Nick Johnson, the 0-2. There's a strike, and Pena is down looking. So Messina paints the corner on Pena. Back to the top of the lineup now, and Jeremy Giambi.
Yeah, sometimes when you're a young player, this is called strike 3, and you do something that helps the team. And, you do something that out of the ordinary that helps the ball club. You get back to the bench, and one of the veterans will sit down next to you and say, "Look, kid, you don't have to be great every day. There's no league higher than this one."
Giambi flied to center in the first, and the first pitch is a strike.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold.
I have a dumb hitter's question. Giambi, he chokes up slightly on the bat.
Yeah.
Why not just have a shorter bat?
Well, this way he can use a heavier bat and choke up on it and still have control of it. If he, gets a lighter bat and he holds it down the end, he still doesn't have that control of the bat. By choking up, he gives you just a little bit more control, and he can use a heavier bat that way. If he goes down to the end, use a lighter bat, he wouldn't have that, that feeling of control in his hands, and he'd have a lighter bat.
1-2. Swung on a miss. Didn't matter what size bat. Messina strikes out the side. He has 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. After 3 innings of play here at the Network Associates Coliseum, there is no score. And for the Yankees in the 4th inning, it'll be Jeter, Giambi, and Posada. Top of the 4th inning means it's time for the Aflac trivia question. It involves the A's starter Barry Zito. His 205 strikeouts last season, second on the A's single season list. Who is the A's single season leader in strikeouts? I think Kenny knows, but we're not going to give it away. But we will give you the answer in the bottom of the 4th inning, so stay tuned for that.
And let's just say they've had a number of great pitches here over the years, including the 3 that they have now.
Jeter leads off with a ground ball foul.
With Tim Hudson, Mark Mulder, and Barry Zito. And you think back, they've had...
We mentioned that Game 3, the division series last year. Here's the amazing Jeter flip to get Jeremy Giambi at home plate. And that was a turning point to get the Yankees to the World Series last year. Swings and misses, 0-2.
Had protected a 1-0 lead.
That was one of the first things Jason Giambi said in Tampa this year at spring training. He said, I'm just interested to see the drill on that flip play. And Jeremy Giambi, since that play, has heard the cries of slide, Jeremy slide. The 0-2. Swung on a miss. A little fastball by him upstairs. So Jeter down on strikes. And now here's the other Giambi, Jason. Every movement of Giambi has been under the microscope for these 3 games. Photographed, analyzed. And the breaking ball's a strike.
Last year, the A's scored almost 5.5 runs per game. This year, they're down to about 4.5 runs per game.
Grounded foul. Actually, Jeremy Giambi's had a better start than Jason. 333, 4 homers and 7 ribbies, but Jason catching up. And certainly the production, 13 RBIs better than Jeremy, although Jeremy leading off. The 0-2 is up and away. And a lot of people think that the departure of Jason has actually made it easier on Jeremy. He doesn't have to be the little brother anymore. He's got his own gig now. He's the left fielder here for the A's. The 1-2. Check swing. Did he go on a fastball up and in? Did he go? No, said third base umpire Ed Montague.
The body turned, but the bat did not come around. Now watch the front shoulder kind of spin out, but the bat hangs back. So Jason Giambi did a good job of slamming on the brakes with the swing. Here's another look at it, and he did not swing the bat.
And the 2-2. That time he did. Foul tips it into the glove of Myers, and Zito has struck out 2 Yankees in this inning.
Going to look at the pitch selection to Giambi. Nice curveball for a strike. Tried another one. It was fouled off. Fastball. Tried to get him to chase. He wouldn't do so. Tried to get him to chase again. The count evens up at 2-2. Then he finally blew the third one right on by him for strike 3. Zito does have some weapons out there on the mound.
Here's Posada. And the ball is scooped up out of the dirt by Myers, 1-0.
You're thinking of, the Aflac trivia question. And all the great pitchers that they've had here with the A's, you think of Dave Stewart. You go back to Catfish Hunter when he was here, and Kenny Holtzman.
Vida Blue.
Vida Blue, Bob Welch. Great pitchers.
Blue Moon Odom. The 1-0. There's a strike.
Blue Moon Odom had a cousin that I faced in the minor leagues, Blue Streak Williams.
Really?
He was Blue Moon's cousin.
There's the A's all-time team. Catfish Hunter, the late Catfish. Only 2 numbers retired here in Oakland. Raleigh Fingers number 34 and Catfish Hunter number 27, and they're both on the left field wall. And the 1-2 just missed outside.
Zito was walking off the mound. He thought he had struck out the side. Didn't miss by much.
You decide. A bit outside. And the 2-2. He struck out the side. Strikeout number 4 for Zito. Jeter goes down on strikes. Giambi and then Posada. An outstanding inning for Barry Zito. No score. Brave little soul here at Network Associates Coliseum. He doesn't care that they're all A's fan. He's a Yankee fan. And he's wondering what the answer is to the Aflac trivia question. And we will give you the answer after this pitch to Frank Menachino to start off the bottom of the 4th inning. And the pitch from Messina. A little bit low. Here is the answer after Zito's 205. Who's number 1 on the A's single season leader list for strikeouts? It's Vida Blue, 301 in his magical season of 1971. That one is fouled away. Very few people, very few players take a game by storm the way Vida Blue did that year. And he never had a season like that again. It was just an amazing year. I remember that same year, Ken, at Yankee Stadium had something called Blue Day. Anybody named Blue was able to get into Yankee Stadium for free. I think they drew like 55,000 people. I don't know how many Blues they had.
If you wore something blue, you got in?
No,
you had
to have the last name of Blue.
Wow.
And the 2-1. Little low.
Messina, as usual, his control has been to the point where he's not walked anybody in this game, go along with his 5 strikeouts. He's had at least 1 strikeout in each inning.
And the 3-1. Fouled away.
It's not only when he falls behind, he can come in with a strike, but he can always seem to throw it in a good spot.
Look at the ratio. 46 pitches, 29 strikes, and 17 balls. And you do get the idea that the pitches he throws off the strike zone, he wants to. It's not like he misses when he wants to hit. And the 3-2. Fouled away. The more you see Messina and you realize how great he is, you just, look at it with incredulity that the Orioles let him get away.
It is unbelievable. I mean, his mechanics, his ability to be a lead pitcher. I mean, the Yankees have 5 lead pitchers, but, it's unbelievable they would let him get. He's the type of pitcher who can teach younger pitchers how to win.
And the pitch is inside, so he issues his first walk. Also, a guy out of your own farm system, all they had to do was give him the money before he became a free agent, and he would be there. Instead, not only does he leave, but he goes to a division rival.
Well, the choice was theirs, and I think they made the choice. They didn't want to pay the money. It's simple as that. Speaking of the Baltimore Orioles.
Maddox, Glavine, and Johnson 1, 2, 3, and then after that, Yankees. Most wins since '92. Messina with 163. Clemens with 148. Pitch to Hatterberg is outside. There's no score in this one. Bottom of the 4th inning. Yankees have a hit, and the A's have 2 hits.
That hit for Hatterberg increased the hitting streak to 5 consecutive games. He's on a mini roll.
And he's 3 for 10 in this series against the Yanks. There's a strike.
Now, the last time the A's got the leadoff man on, that was in the 2nd inning. That was immediately followed by a double play.
Check swing. That was the change by Messina. And the count 2-1. During the 5-game hitting streak that Kenny spoke about, 7 for 19 for Hatterberg. That's good for 368, a home run, and 3 runs batted in. That one is grounded right side and through for a base hit past the diving Giambi. Spencer Fields. They'll flip the ball into Jeter. Moving to second is Menachino. And this is the first time in the game that the A's have 2 runners on and a runner in scoring position.
Ball just by the diving Giambi. That hole opened up by the runner being at first and on into right field for the base hit. Shane Spencer got a good jump on it. Ron Washington, third base coach, threw up the stop sign for Menachino, who was thinking about going to third. Just hit hard enough to get by Giambi and on into the outfield for the base hit.
Here's Eric Chavez. He will not be bunting. He's a cleanup hitter. And he pops it up behind the plate. That'll be out of play over the screen.
Chavez, much in the same manner of Jason Giambi, has great power to the opposite field. Beyond the 388 sign in left center field, he hit one way up near the glass up here where the fans actually can sit and watch the game. There's sky boxes, if you will, up in that area, and the players here call it going glass.
Pitch is upstairs.
So to hit a ball that far to the opposite field, got some kind of power. There's those seats up there, and mostly for football, but they can sell them for baseball as well.
There's a strike. I guess Yankee Stadium has a version of going glass. They call it going black. They've hit the ball over the center field wall. It's been done 22 times, and the first time it was done was by you.
Yeah, that way back in 1977, Ed Figueroa threw me something I really liked.
I bet. And the 1-2. Swung and a missed. He struck him out. Nice pitch there by Messina, one away.
Six strikeouts for Messina, and 5 of them have been of the swinging variety. And that looked like a fastball well placed over the outside corner. Just blew it right on by him.
Here's Miguel Tejada. Now, I always wondered this, and I wanted to ask you even off the air, but since we're talking about it, since you were the first one to go black at Yankee Stadium, did you realize the enormity of it?
No, because I had known that this is after the stadium had been renovated.
Right.
Now, I'd known that Mickey Mantle had done it years before.
Grounded foul by Tejada.
So they're talking about after the stadium's been renovated, I was the first one to do it. Mickey Mantle had done it. I don't know how many times he did it, but I'd known he had done it before. So it didn't seem such a big deal.
So no one made a big deal of it when it happened that day.
Reggie came up to me the next day and said, "That's where the big guys hit him."
Okay.
And then later on that year in the World Series, he hit one out there.
In that 3 home run game that he had. Well, it's only been done 22 times, and the stadium was reopened in 1976, so a significant blast. That one's inside. And that was the year after you were a teammate of Reggie with the Orioles.
Reggie left the first year of free agency, first year ever for free agency. Reggie left Baltimore Orioles and signed with the Yankees. And history was made.
His foul back. Reggie started here with the A's, and when they realized they wouldn't be able to sign him because of free agency, he was traded to the Orioles. Tejada with 2 home runs, or 2 times hit 30 home runs or more. Only 5 shortstops have done that. A-Rod, Ernie Banks, Nomar Garciaparra, Vern Stevens, and Tejada.
The thing about that trade to Baltimore, because I was with the Orioles that spring, and the trade went down in spring training. And I'll give you a little bit more background on the actual deal.
1-2, foul back.
He's playing the outfield in the spring training game, playing right field, and Don Baylor was playing left field. About the 3rd inning, they took Don Baylor out of the game. So I thought he had been injured. I go upstairs to the training room, and he's sitting over the corner of the training room crying. Now, Baylor's only team at that point had been the Orioles, and it was a very close team. And he told me he got traded. I thought, somebody in his family was hurt or died or something. But he told me he had been traded to Oakland. And I said, "Yeah, traded to Oakland." And I said, "Well, who did we get?" He said, "Reggie." And I said, "Oh, okay."
Very understanding.
Of course, Baylor went on to become a great player in this league and a good manager with the Chicago Cubs right now. And the MVP in 1979 with the Angels. He stayed with Oakland for 1 year, became a free agent, and went down to play with the Angels.
2-2. Hit deep to left field. If it's fair, it's gone. That ball is gone. A home run for Miguel Tejada. We talked home runs. He picks up another one. 3 in 3 games against the Yankees. This one a 3-run blast, and the A's are up 3-0.
There's been only one problem for Messina this year. It's been the home run. This is the 6th home run he's allowed, but not many of them come with 2 men on base. And Tejada, his 4th hit in this series and his 3rd home run. Man, he's got a quick bat. He's got some power. Number 5 on the season.
Here's Terrence Long. And now on his line to right field, backing up as Spencer. He's there. And he puts it away for the 2nd out of the inning. The A's led the first game 1-0. Yankees came back with those 2 runs in the 7th on the Posada home run. Yankees led yesterday 5-0. The A's tied it up, and then the Yankees went on to an 8-5 win, and now the A's have the lead 3-zip near the bottom of the 4th. Pitch to Myers is low and away.
With that home run, the A's have tied the Yankees for the league lead in that category. 31 apiece.
Swung and a miss. Barry Zito has to feel pretty good about things. We told you that in 5 career starts against the Yankees, including postseason, Zito 1.69 with a 1-2 record. There's the home run leaders Kenny's talking about. Cleveland is second. There's a strike. But the A's offense is predicated on the long ball. They do not try to create runs. They almost have that Earl Weaver philosophy. Sit back and wait for the 3-run shot. This time, Art Howe got it.
Batting coach Thad Bosley. On base percentage and home runs.
And there's strike 3. Myers down looking, but not before the damage is done. 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. Miguel Tejada goes yard against Mike Messina, and after 4 innings of play here at the Network Associates Coliseum, it's the A's 3, the Yankees nothing. Hot, Fred. We go to the top of the 5th inning, and the Yankees now have themselves a deficit to make up. That's baseball right there. Baseball, hot dogs a little later. We'll have some apple pie. And he is enjoying his Oakland A's leading 3-0 over the Yankees.
And a day baseball game. How about it? All the games in the American League today are day contests. You don't see that very often.
Here's Rondell White, and the pitch is up and away.
It's going to be an uphill battle for the Yankees this afternoon, now falling behind Zito. Even though Zito hasn't been pitching well this year, comes in with an ERA of 4.37. You know the capability is there for him to throw a low hit, low run game.
White fouls it back. White was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 7 so far against the A's in this series, and he's gone into a little bit of a slide, 2 for 20. Nice breaking ball, swung and a miss.
Yeah, one thing about Rondell, though, he might be 2 for 20, but he's got the same attitude as if he were 15 for 20. He's same guy. He keeps whatever's bothering him, he's going to keep it inside. And right now, that good curveball was bothering him. Excellent pitch.
Pitch is low. Well, we know a pitcher feels better when he's got a lead. Does the hitter change his approach when his team is down?
You know what? Right now, you're thinking get on base. You know, but the Yankees, they can strike in a hurry with the long ball.
And that one's fouled off in front of the plate as White stays alive.
It appears that Zito is trying to get Rondell White out with anything but a fastball. Rondell has a very quick bat, tremendous power, good fastball hitter, and Zito's got that great hook. He's thrown him a couple of change-ups. Tried to sneak it by him and couldn't do it. So we were talking about Mark Mulder. He was scheduled to come back on Saturday. It looks like he's not going to pitch Saturday. He's got come off the DL with a forearm problem.
White's worked the count full.
So Rondell might have gotten himself into a count where he can look for a fastball. The Yankees down by 3. Zito's got the lead. First hitter of the inning. Look for the heat.
3-2. He gets the heat and he lines it up the middle for a base hit. So he worked himself into a count where he could sit on a pitch. He did, and he leads off the inning with a single.
I'm not so sure this was a strike. The target's down, the pitch is up, and Rondell gets on top of it. Gets up on the ladder and hammers it back through the middle.
We told you about the quick strike ability of the New York Yankee lineup. Now a long ball makes it 3-2, so 3-0 does not seem that insurmountable here in the top of the 5th inning. The only thing that makes you worry is that you've got such a quality pitcher on the mound. And the pitch to Cooper. Swung on and driven deep to center field, but plenty of room out there. Long puts it away for the first out.
Zito took just enough off of that pitch that Coomer didn't get his A swing.
Let's take a Chrysler cruise around the major leagues. A lot of things going on in baseball. Frank Thomas of the White Sox tripled yesterday against Cleveland, his first since 1998 and his fourth since '92. The Texas Rangers are 6-14, 10 games behind Seattle in the West. The worst start for the Rangers since '82. And Palmeiro picked up his 452nd career home run yesterday, and that ties Carl Yastrzemski for 25th all-time on the home run list. And that's our Chrysler cruise around the majors. Pitch to Spencer is lined into right center field. That is a base hit. Cutting over is Long. Rounding second and going to third is going to be Rondell White. Long fires into Menachino at second. So Shane Spencer now 2 for 2, and the Yankees are set up first and third, 1 out.
Continues his good hitting against left-handed pitching. Question for you, Michael, as we watch this replay. Pitch kind of hung out there, and he drove it to right center. When he's swinging his best, he's always quick on pitches inside. He's hitting the ball well to center field and right center. That's when Shane Spencer is swinging well. Question: Rafael Palmeiro, 452 home runs. Is it going to be a Hall of Famer in your eyes?
You know, it's funny you brought that up because Jim Cott and I had the same discussion, and he thinks that 500 is an automatic entry, a free pass in. And I think it's got to change a little bit now because home runs come easier. I don't know if Rafael Palmeiro is a Hall of Famer.
You know, you're right on the count of the 500 home runs. I think he is, because that's been the sort of like the measuring point from years gone by. But I think you're right too.
Pitch to Wilson's foul back.
That might have to change, but not with him, because he hit a lot of his home runs before this outbreak of homers. So.
All right, let me throw another name at you.
Okay.
Then. Jose Canseco is in the minor leagues for the White Sox. He needs, I think, 42. What if he happens to pick those 42 up along the next couple of years? Is he a Hall of Famer?
I don't think he qualifies as much as Palmeiro does in my eyes. But like I said, 500, he's going to get his votes.
Upstairs, that's the quietest 500.
Yeah, it is quiet, because, you know, outside of the 1 year they got the World Series with the A's, or 2 years they got the World Series with the A's.
Well, 3 years. They lost 2 and he won 1.
Okay.
They won the middle one. Canseco needs 48, 38. He has 462. Pitch to Wilson is a strike.
I don't think Canseco's overall numbers are as good as Palmeiro's. He's hitting them like doubles and triples and things like that, batting average.
But don't you think for a stretch of 5 years, Ken, that Jose Canseco was the best player in baseball?
He was certainly one of the best players ever. Yeah, maybe one of the best ever. First player ever to go 40-40.
First and third for the Yankees, 1 out. The 1-2 upstairs. I thought the perfect test case would have been Dave Kingman. If he had gotten to 500, I'm sorry. I'm sorry he's not a Hall of Fame player.
No. But he didn't, so you're off the hook.
Yes. Joe Torre, a borderline Hall of Famer as a player, but he certainly will get in now as a manager with 4 world titles. The 2-2 is low, so Wilson has worked the count full. Now you have a question as a manager. Do you send Shane Spencer at first with 1 out and runners on first and third?
I think with the Yankees down by 3 runs that they might hold him. Zito's a strikeout type pitcher. Wilson hasn't played all that much.
Runners lead. Zito goes over.
And also with Soriano coming up next, I think you definitely want him to hit in this inning.
So the one thing you do by sending him is possibly stay out of the double play with a ground ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't go, and Wilson swings at ball 4 and strikes out. He chases a pitch up and away. Otherwise, the Yankees would have had the bases loaded with 1 out. Now it's first and third, 2 outs, and Soriano at the plate.
Yeah, this is the sort of thing that comes with inactivity. You know, you don't have control of the strike zone. You can see he's upset. He knows he swung at ball 4.
That gentleman is not sleeping. He's just putting up Z's for Zito strikeouts. And now Soriano has the baton passed to him. Pitch is low. If you look at Zito, he bears a resemblance to Mark Langston, a younger Mark Langston.
Langston was a big-time strikeout pitcher early in his career. I think he led the league a couple years with Seattle. Hard-throwing left-hander.
1-0, swung and a miss. That time he pulled the string, and Soriano way out in front.
Well, that's what a changeup is all about. Soriano was ahead on the count, a ball and no strikes, thinking I'm going to get a fastball, and no, he didn't. The old limp biscuit.
1-1. Popped up foul. That'll make the seats out of play.
Zito's made some good pitches here, bearing down with Soriano at the plate. In fact, he's made good pitches to Soriano all day. He walked him in the first, then struck him out in the third.
Rondell White's at third. Shane Spencer's at first. Yankees trail 3-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. Zito sets. And the pitch. Way high.
You talk about Joe being a good hitter, and he won the MVP during the course of his career. But I wonder if he thinks, along with the pitcher, the opposing pitcher, what's he going to throw here?
2-2. Swung and a miss. He struck him out. A big strikeout for Barry Zito, and he works out of a first and third with 1-man out jam. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. At the end of 4 1/2, we're halfway through. A's 3-0. Mike Colangelo will start the bottom of the 5th inning off against Mike Messina. And that one is rocketed into left field for a base hit. So Colangelo begins the 5th inning with a single. Well, fans, it's going to be a very special night on Wednesday, May 1st, when the Yankees host the Oakland A's. The first 18,000 fans, 21 and over, will receive a limited edition Frank Sinatra New York Memory CD. What a great way to get your fill of great Yankees moments and classic Sinatra. For tickets, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops. You can call Ticketmaster at 212-307-1212, or even log on to Yankees.com. I've seen that CD. I've listened to it. It's a great CD. And also, you see Yankees against the A's, so not a bad exacta for a Yankee fan. Here's Carlos Pena. And the pitch is outside. Well, Yankees miss a golden opportunity in the top of the 5th inning. Wilson chases out of the strike zone, and then Soriano gets blown away. So Zito did make the pitches he had to make. A little bit low.
When you have a young hitter at the plate, count of 2-0, so Pena's in the lead right now on this count. He's ahead on the count. And the count means everything in a battle. When the pitcher is ahead on the count, the batting average of the hitters goes down dramatically. But when the hitter's ahead, they can pick and choose. And they usually get better pitches to hit, and they put better wood on the ball. That's why the batting averages go up when the hitters are ahead of the count. Veteran pitcher, rookie player.
Nub foul in front of the plate. Pena 1 for 7 in this series, and 5 of the outs have been strikeouts. So, we're concentrating on Jason Giambi, but in his own way, Carlos Pena probably putting pressure on himself, saying, well, Jason Giambi's back. I have to make people know that they've got a pretty good first baseman here, and he's pressing. Tough man to replace here in Oakland. 2-1. Foul back to the screen.
Messina fights back with 2 tough pitches. Down 2 balls and no strikes. For him, it's like being ahead 0-2.
Already got a fan club. That's nice. Rookie, you got a fan club. We don't have a fan club yet, do we? No. 2-2. Low.
Now the question for Art Howe, that we mentioned the fact that the A's do not put runners in motion very often. I think with Pena's propensity for striking out, Colangelo might stay at first base. Sometimes the way a runner takes his lead will tell you if he's going or not. Yeah, it looks like to me he might be going. Nope.
3-2 is fouled away. This is definitely the proverbial base-to-base team.
Yeah.
One at a time. I wonder if Ron Washington even has a steal sign.
It's interesting. He played for the Orioles years ago, and he was the man who went in to take Cal Ripken's place when his inning streak was broken. Not his game streak, but his inning streak was broken.
Check swing fouled off.
They were Orioles were playing a game in Toronto. Ron Washington was on the bench, and Cal Ripken Sr. was the manager of the Orioles at the time. And the Orioles were getting blown out by Toronto, and he looked at Ron Washington and said, "You go in for Cal next inning." And Ron said, "Do what?" And he said, "You go in for Cal next inning." And that's when Cal's inning streak was broken. The game streak was not broken, but the inning streak was.
Pitch is high, so Pena walks. A good at bat for the youngster. And the A's have runners on first and second and nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Top of the lineup, Jeremy Giambi comes up with runners on first and second and nobody out. There's a strike.
That kind of goes along with when Cal broke his streak against the Yankees at Camden Yards. Ryan Miner was told by Ray Miller, the Oriole manager, "You're going to play third base tonight." And his question to Ray Miller was, "Does Cal know about this?"
That was some night.
Yeah.
And the 0-1. Way inside.
The last two innings, the control and command of Mike Mussina has kind of deserted him. He leadoff walk to Menachino in the fourth, got things going for the A's, and here in the fifth, a single followed by a walk. And that's certainly unlike Mike Mussina, and that's why he's going to get this visit from Mel Stottlemyre.
I wonder what Stottlemyre could say to Mussina, because Mussina is not a guy who likes to read scouting reports and go to pitchers meetings. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He doesn't want to hear about how to pitch somebody. He knows his stuff better than anybody. I'm wondering what Mel actually says in these conversations.
You know, he might see something with his delivery or something like that that he might pass along. But you're right about Mussina. That he's saying his days when he was with the Orioles, he would not go to meetings. And the reason being, you know, he gets a scouting report, he throws this guy breaking balls. He said, "What if my breaking ball's not working that day? Now, then what am I supposed to do?"
Right.
So he used to piece the game together himself.
He's thrown 78 pitches, and the ratio is good. 49 strikes, 29 balls. But he has struggled just a bit over the past couple of innings. A 3-run home run to Tejada, and now we're in the fifth, a single by Colangelo and a walk to Pena. 1-1. Just missed outside and low.
Jeremy Giambi certainly having a better April this year than he had last year. Last April he was hitting under 200, 182. He came in today hitting 342, so his season has gotten off to a much, much better start.
Foul back. There are the different numbers.
Wow.
This year 342, last year 176. The homers are up, and the RBIs are up. Proud brother. Although he's rooting against his brother right now, you would think. And the count is full.
That didn't miss by much.
The Yankee bullpen is quiet. Three-two. Swung and a miss. He struck him out. Fastball up and in. A big strikeout for Messina. One down, and that brings up Frank Menechino.
Now that's 8 strikeouts in this game, and here's a fastball well placed. Up and in. And a pitcher throws you a pitch like that, 3-2 with 2 men on base. You're figuring, he's got to come in. This is going to be really good to hit, and he ties you up with a fastball inside. You are not you're looking for something that you can really lean on, not something you have to try and fight off.
Still first and second, and now 1 out for Menechino. Menechino 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. And that one's popped foul behind the plate, out of play. The only scoring in the game in the 4th inning, a home run by Miguel Tejada. He has homered in every single one of these games in this series. Barry Zito has been great for the A's against the Yankees, so it's 3-0 Oakland as they try to salvage the final game of this 3-game set. Yankees won the first game 2-1. They won last night 8-5. There's a strike on the inside corner, and the count quickly 0-2.
He talked about Menechino not swinging the bat well. He's 0 for his last 15, but it was his walk leading off the 4th inning that got things started. And I think that goes back to what the A's teach about being able to get on base one way or the other, not swinging the bat, work a walk if you can.
And the 0-2 is lined into right center field. That is going to be a base hit. It gets past Spencer and rolls to the wall. Colangelo scores. Pena will stop at third, and stopping at second with an RBI double is Frank Menechino, and the A's have expanded their lead to 4-0.
Well, he saw that guy walking around the stadium in the gorilla suit earlier. The monkey is off his back. The 0 for 15 is history with this belt to the gap in right center field. Frank Menechino drives in a run. And in at second base with a double, because that ball will split the outfielders and head for the wall.
Now the Yankees have to bring the infield in with runners on second and third. And just 1 out, so Hatterberg becomes a better hitter simply by the defensive alignment. Randy Choate begins to throw in the Yankee bullpen. Pitch is low.
Hey, I never heard of you.
Choate has had some command problems this year, and he might be coming into a sticky situation if this continues. And the 1-0. There's a strike. Pena is at second, and Menechino, check that, Pena's at third, and Menechino's at second. Hatterberg has not had a good time of it with runners in scoring position. 3 for 17 this year. There's a strike.
A good knuckle curveball in there for a strike. The first 3 innings, Messina allowed just 2 singles. These last 2 innings, a double, a home run, 2 walks, and a couple of singles. There's a look at that knuckle curve.
He has not thrown that much today. That's always a very good pitch for him. He's really been spotting the fastball and mixing in an occasional knuckle change. And the 1-2. Low. There's one plus arm in the outfield. That is Shane Spencer in right field. Pena is not exceptionally quick at third, but Rondell White does not have a good arm, and you know that Bernie's shoulders have been bothering him. And that one is grounded to Soriano. He will hold Pena at third and goes to first for the second out. So Messina got the out he needed, and now he has to deal with Chavez.
Hatteberg come up with hits his first 2 times up, and this time, with runners in scoring position, he fails to get the ball out of the infield. Soriano, nice check of the runner at third, then over to first. And you make it out like that, you don't like to leave runners in scoring position. There's some sort of bat day or something here, or souvenirs for. They might have been sitting in the bat section.
Same bat section. Chavez pops it up, so Messina will work out of it, and Rondell White could put this one away. He's there, and he does for the final out of the inning. So Messina gives up 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 big runners left. At the end of 5, 4-0 A's. Well, fans, there's quite a lot of playoff action going on in the New York area these days. Don't miss a Stanley Cup playoff game between the New Jersey Devils and the Carolina Hurricanes this Saturday at 1. It's a must-win for the Devils. For tickets, visit the Continental Airlines Arena box office, log on to Ticketmaster.com, or visit any Ticketmaster outlet. Don't forget that the New Jersey Nets are battling the Indiana Pacers in the NBA playoffs. And for Nets playoff tickets, call 1-800-4NBA-TICKS. Bernie Williams leads off the 6th. And he runs the hands up the bunt and takes a strike. Yankees are down 4-0.
Not a bad idea to get something going. The Yankees only have 3 hits, 3 singles. Shane Spencer has 2 of them against Barry Zito.
That pitch is low. Bernie in this series is 2 for 10. And today grounded to short and grounded to third. He's 0 for 8 lifetime against Zito. Just missed outside.
Seems that every time that Zito throws a curve, the fans expect it to be called for a strike because it has so much break. Zito, a 17-game winner a year ago.
Two 1. There's a changeup outside, and the count 3-1. Giambi will be up third in this inning. Jeter's on deck. Giambi's in the hole. And the 3-1. Swung and missed. Fastball. Zito has a little bit of a celebrity lineage. His uncle is Patrick Duffy, who played Bobby Ewing on Dallas. The 3-2. Grounded through the right side for base hit. So Bernie Williams starts off the 6th inning with a base hit.
We talked about Zito and his weapons, but one thing is unusual motion. He has a habit of hooking the ball behind his back when he throws it. You saw it right there when he struck out Jeter. Watch as he brings the ball out of his glove. He kind of hooks his hand, then snaps that wrist over as he strikes out Giambi. And once again, here's what Posada. And here we go, right there. You can see right how he hooks it, and then he'll come up and deliver the ball. And Sandy Koufax used to do that years ago in the 60s, and it worked for Sandy. Of course, Sandy had great curve, explosive fastball. Big number 32 for the Dodgers. Career ended early because of arthritic elbow.
With Derek Jeter inside, he's become almost a pitching guru now for some teams.
You figure in this day and age, if that same sort of thing afflicted a pitcher, they'd fix that in 10 minutes.
Absolutely. And he retired after a great year. He just couldn't take the pain anymore. He could still pitch. Just a bit outside. The sun peeking through here. So some glare coming down on the players. It could hurt the outfielders right now.
It's the third time in the game the Yankees have had the leadoff man on. Only one time did he get as far as third base. That was last inning.
2-0 is a check swing. Did he go? No, said first base umpire Hunter Wendelstedt.
Jeter's thinking he's going to get a fastball. He did, but it was just out of the zone. He was able to hold up.
Green light on 3-0?
No, not here.
Base runners,
yeah,
right?
You're down by 3, not 2.
4. The 3-0.
Yeah, that's right. They added 4.
And he does take. (3-1), a good pitch to run on. But again, because of the 4-run deficit, maybe you stay away from things that you would normally do. Bernie does not go. And the pitch is outside. So Jeter walks. And the Yankees have the first 2 runners on. First and second, nobody out. And here is Jason Giambi. Giambi in 2 at-bats against Zito. Flied to right and struck out. He's 4 for 10 so far in this series. Good speed on the bases for the Yankees. And the A's bullpen, there's some stirring. Someone will begin to warm. And the pitch to Giambi. Swung and a miss.
You know, I don't think this is so much the way that Zito's pitching today. I think it's the way he's pitched this season, and that's why the bullpen's up in such a hurry. Swing and a miss on a good breaking ball. You know, he has not won a game this year. And Art Howe does not want this effort to go to waste.
That one is grounded toward first, and it's a foul ball grabbed by Pena. Chad Bradford, side-arming right-hander, warming for the A's alongside Mike Fenifro.
Side-arming left-hander. You know, that's why Fenifro's on this side and Bradford's on that side. If
they'd be cracking knuckles.
Looks like they're warming up for a softball game, doesn't it?
So Giambi's in an 0-2 hole. Runners lead. And the pitch from Zito. Low and inside, 1-2. Former teammates now going mano a mano. And the 1-2. Foul back to the screen.
That was a pretty good pitch to hit. It was centered. It was kind of up. But it had enough juice on it from Zito that Giambi couldn't quite get to it. Made a very good pass at this pitch.
Zito has thrown 91 pitches. Giambi with runners in scoring position, 296. A home run and 10 runs batted in. That number will get better as the season moves on. 1-2. Just missed with a breaking ball, a little bit low, and the count is level at 2-2. Top of the 6th inning, Oakland 4, the Yankees nothing. Bernie Williams at second, Derek Jeter at first, nobody out, Jason Giambi at the plate. And the 2-2. Pop foul, out of play.
This is a grind him out at bat, especially after being down, no balls and 2 strikes. Giambi goes into his grind him out mode, taking close pitches for balls to even the count up.
Mike Messina hoping his team can get back in it. Breaking ball is up and in, and the count full at 3-2. That was the 94th pitch by Zito. His ratio 57 strikes to 37 balls. Not that great, but so far good enough to do the job and hold a 4-0 lead. In all likelihood, the Yankees will not run on 3-2. It would be an easy throw to third with a lefty batter up. 3-2 is swung on and lofted to short right field. Coming on Colangelo. He's there and he puts it away for the first out of the inning. Runners stay put.
Zito made a heck of a pitch there, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, it was a good at bat from Giambi fighting back at 0-2, but Zito threw him a good curveball, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Looked like he didn't miss it by much, though. Just got underneath it. 3-2 curve.
And Giambi replays the at-bat in his mind. Here's Posada. Posada 0 for 2 today, 0 for 10 lifetime against Zito. Hitting .320 on the season. 8 for 18 from the right side. There's a breaking ball strike. Isn't there a limit to how many curveballs an arm could throw? I mean, don't you worry that he'll give out one day?
It happened to a pitcher that I used to know in the past. Steve Stone won the Cy Young Award. In one game, he threw 17 curveballs in a row.
It's almost like you're selling your soul.
He did that year because he was never the same.
He won the Cy Young that year.
25-7, 1980.
He throws a lot of curveballs, Zito does. Posada 9 for 20 with runners in scoring position. 450 clip in these situations. And that one is grounded shortly to short. Tejada, the second one on the first double play. Zito works out of trouble, and he likes the job that he did. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of 5.5 innings of play, the Oakland Athletics 4 and the New York Yankees nothing. You're watching Yankees baseball on the Yankee Entertainment and Sports Network. Think Zito's pumped? Starting Sunday night at 10, New Jersey Gladiators Arena football is back, and right here on Yes, the 50-yard war gets underway with the Gladiators' home opener against the hard-hitting Dallas Desperados. Suit up for all the action of New Jersey Gladiators Arena football. Sunday night at 10, only on Yes. Tejada looks at a first pitch out of the strike zone to lead out the bottom of the 6th inning. Tejada is 2 for 2, single to left, and then a big 3-run home run to break a scoreless tie in the 4th. Pitch is low and away. They announced the attendance, 31,870. So 3 pretty good crowds. Yesterday's crowd, 54,513, was the largest regular season crowd here in Oakland ever. Pitch is outside. And 4 pitches out of the strike zone by Messina, and Tejada leads off the 6th with a walk.
3rd consecutive inning that the leadoff man has been on base.
Now ready, center fielder, Terrence Long.
Long is 0 for 2 today, wrapped into a double play and fly to right. Slices it foul.
And talking to Art Howe about how the A's turned it around last year when they got off to 8-18. He said one of the things that they did, they took Terrence Long out of center field and put Johnny Damon into center field. Of course, Johnny Damon left as a free agent, signing with the Boston Red Sox. So Terrence Long gets his old job back in center.
Pitch is swung on and foul tip. I remember in the 2000 division series, that was before Johnny Damon came over, Terrence Long was in center field. Game 5, the Yankees scored 6 runs in the first inning, and Terrence Long was absolutely lost in center field. And I believe Tino Martinez had a bases clearing double over his head in center field in that inning.
Wasn't there a ball that he did not see? Was that the one?
I think that might have been the one. Strike 3 right down the middle and Long down looking. He doesn't like the call.
That's 9 strikeouts from Messina. His season high is 10. He had that at Toronto against the Jays, and he is long gone.
Here's Greg Myers. He has struck out twice. Randy Choate begins to throw again in the Yankee bullpen. If it gets down to Carlos Pena, they might go to Choate. Pena the number 9 batter. Myers the number 7 batter. That one is hit deep to right center field. Giving chase is Shane Spencer. Looking up. See ya. A home run for Greg Myers. A 2-run shot. And Oakland leads 6-0.
Turned on. Myers had a game-winning home run here the other day. This might not be a game winner, but is certainly impressive. Over 400 feet to right center field. Nearly went glass.
Knuckle curve to Colangelo is a strike. 2 home runs given up by Messina today, 7 on the season. Pitch is low.
Well, that streak of 8 consecutive wins is definitely in jeopardy.
Well, the Yankee offense will have to jump start over the final 3 innings to get back in this one and get Messina off the hook. And the 1-2. Grounded foul.
A couple of years ago, Colangelo, the hitter, had to sit out a whole season. Rotator cuff surgery, something that's usually reserved for pitchers. But he injured his arm in spring training and had to have surgery. Missed the whole 2000 season.
And the 1-2. Just missed inside. It's odd. Here we are in the bottom of the 6th inning. Messina's given up 2 home runs. He's down 6-0. And if he can strike out Colangelo, he has 10 strikeouts. 2-2. Low and away. You saw that graphic. Messina's given up 7 home runs this year, 20 all of last year. 7 in 33 2/3, 20 in 228 2/3. But the difference today than the other days, 3-2 is grounded to short. Jeter right there. 2 away. The difference is, and Kenny mentioned this earlier, he usually gives up solo home runs. And that was something that Catfish Hunter did a lot of. Catfish Hunter would give up home runs, but they would always be with no one on base. But today, a little bit different because he's given up a 3-run shot and a 2-run shot. And Joe Torre has now seen enough. He does signal to the bullpen for Randy Choate. So Choate jogs in. He will face Carlos Pena. We'll step aside for just a moment, and we'll come back with that matchup. The Yankees trail in this game 6-0. Mike Messina sitting on the bench because the Singular wireless call to the bullpen was made. Brought to you by Singular, the wireless company that supports self-expression nationwide. So Messina, 5 2/3 innings. He struck out 9, but he gave up 6 runs. So the Yankees are down 6-0. Randy Choate comes on in his 5th game, an 8.44 ERA. He's had some control problems, and he deals to Pena. There's a strike.
Those control problems that he had in Toronto got him sent back to the minor leagues to work on it. And Choate recently recalled.
But you know what? It wasn't a merit recall because he had control problems down there. They called him up when Andy Pettitte went on the DL, and they moved Lilly from the bullpen into the rotation. So they wanted a left-hander out there, and they called up Choate. Choate's got good stuff. It moves, but sometimes it moves too much. Swung and a missed.
And with his delivery, he's usually very effective against left-handed batters. That's why Joe Torre waited till he got to this point with Pena coming up and Giambi on deck to bring Choate in the game.
And the 1-2 is lined into right field. Coming on, Spencer on the run. He dives, and he made the play. A beautiful play by Shane Spencer, the second base umpire, Mike DeMuro right there to signal the out. So that'll do it for the A's in the 6th inning, but they score 2 runs on 1 hit. The big blow, a Greg Myers home run, and at the end of 6 innings of play, it's the A's 6, the Yankees nothing. Great play by Spencer. Well, Barry Zito has himself a 6-0 lead, and he will face Rondell White to start off the 7th inning for the Yankees. A's trying to salvage the final game of this 3-game set. And the pitch to White is a fastball high. White has been hit by a pitch and then singled to center field on a 3-2 fastball up in the zone. Foul back.
Well, the A's might be getting some help very soon in the person of Jermaine Dye, who was out on his rehab assignment trying to bounce back from that broken leg that he got in the division series against the Yankees, fouling a pitch off of his left leg, and he went 4 for 5 in a game at Modesto last night. 3 doubles, 2 runs batted in. So he might be back in their upcoming series against the Chicago White. In fact, there he is. He's not activated as of yet.
That pitch is swung and rocketed into left center field. That is a base hit. It splits the outfielders and goes to the wall. Rondell White starts off the 7th inning with a double.
Rondell touched that one off. It had Gap City written all over it. Booming double. Man, see how quick his bat is. Gets it through the zone. 1 hop. 1 long hop to the wall for a 2-base hit.
Now batting, designated hitter Ron Cooper.
Bradford and Venafro continue to warm in the A's bullpen, so Zito not long for this game. Here's Ron Coomer, who's 0 for 2, grounded into a 5-4 force and then fly to center. And the pitch. There's a strike.
And I got the answer to the reason why the A's have 2 teams in the California League, and I asked Ray Fosse, longtime A's broadcaster. He said, well, they just split the players up and they stock 2 teams. And I said, well, don't the managers get upset that one team might get a better player? And he said, no, they just go along and they play that way.
That one's hit to right center field. Terrence Long battling the sun. He'll put it away. Tagging is Rondell White, and he'll make third easily.
The A's have 2 affiliates in the California League out here, one at Modesto and one at Visalia. And I don't think any other team can make that claim that they have 2 affiliates and stock 2 teams in the same league.
So Ray Fosse said they don't get angry?
I guess they don't. You know, they just split the play. He's not there.
He's not there. He's not the one who doesn't have the good players. Here's Shane Spencer, 2 for 2 in what has now become a rare start. There's Ray Fosse on the receiving end of that crunching block by Pete Rose in the All-Star game when Ray was a great catcher with the Cleveland Indians. And Rose was playing for the Cincinnati Reds. Pitch is swung and a miss. Ray was never the same after that. Pitch is low, blocked there by Myers.
Now Zito's well aware of the fact that he's throwing a shutout. He's given up 5 hits. But this has been the best Yankee opportunity to at least put a crooked number on the board. One out and a runner at third.
Pitch is low. Two-one is lined into center field. Long is there. That'll get a run in. Tagging is White. He scores. So a sac fly for Shane Spencer. The Yankees are finally on the board, but the A's lead is still significant at 6-1.
Spencer has a bloop single, a line single, and now hit a rope to right center field that was hauled in by Terrence Long. The left footer Rondell White will not depart until that ball has been caught, and he can just trot on home with the Yankees' first run.
For Spencer, his 5th RBI of the season. And the pitch to Wilson is high. Barry Zito, right on his left hand, has a birthmark. See it right there above the hand, almost on the wrist. 1-0. Swung and missed. And when he was born and his mom saw that birthmark, she said, I know that this kid is going to do something very special with that hand. And here he is. He becomes a great left-handed pitcher. One. There's a breaking ball strike.
And throws one of the best curveballs in the league, if not the best.
Mother knows best. 1-2 is hit slowly toward first base. Pena fields, and he will beat Wilson to the bag, and that'll do it for the Yankees in the 7th. The Yankees get on the board. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors and nobody left. At the end of 6.5, get up and stretch. A's 6, Yankees 1. Bottom of the 7th inning, and the New York Yankees are trailing 6-1 to the Oakland A's. Mike Messina did not have it today. 5 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 6 runs, 2 home runs, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Tejada 2 for 2, a single, a 3-run home run. He has now homered in all 3 games. And Greg Myers chipped in with a 2-run home run. Barry Zito's done a good job. 7 innings, 5 hits, and he's held the Yankees to just 1 run. Randy Choate on in relief, and he will face Jeremy Giambi. And the pitch to Giambi is a strike. And Giambi is 0 for 3 today. Fly to center and 2 strikeouts.
He saw
back to the screen.
You saw Rick Peterson sitting next to Barry Zito. Peterson being the pitching coach of the A's. And Zito has provided just what the A's needed. After the Yankees came in and took the first 2 games of the series, a victory usually starts with your starting pitcher and what he can do to stop the opposition. And Zito has been very effective in doing so.
Way outside. Nice save there by Posada. And the count 1-2. Rounded off the foot of Giambi, and Giambi fields.
He didn't even take a standing 8. He's back up quickly.
No fun.
That was just above the, right on the above the instep there. It's going to have a little knot there. I'm surprised that more players do not wear the guard. Usually after repeated self-inflicted wounds, you go to it.
Well, there must be a negative. What's the negative to the guard?
Maybe they don't feel comfortable running with it on. As we watch Randy Choate with his delivery, I asked him a few years ago, did he learn that delivery or go to it because he wasn't as effective over the top? He said that's the way he's always thrown. Out of Florida State University. Pitch for Mike Martin, longtime coach of the Seminoles. And I remember Mike Martin from my days in the minor leagues. He was a minor league teammate of mine.
Pitch is outside. I was covering the Orange Bowl, Florida State against Oklahoma for the national championship a couple of years ago. And I was in a bar on South Beach, and I walked past a guy looked like he was 11 years old wearing a Florida State hat, and it was Randy Choate.
You had to bring the bar into this?
I wanted to make it realistic.
It's about happy hour.
I mean, if I would have said I walked into the Delano Hotel, that's so not me. You knew it wouldn't have been true. So it was just a bar on South Street, South Beach.
South Beach.
But I walked right by him. I didn't even know it was him. He had on his Florida State Seminole garb, but they ended up losing that game. 6-1 Oakland leads. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning here at the Network Associates Coliseum. 6-7-0 for the A's, 1-5-0 for the Yankees. Randy Choate is on in relief of Mike Messina, who had his first bad start of the year. 3-2. Giambi stays alive.
He's still walking off the effects of that foul ball. Now you watch Jason and Jeremy come to the play. They have somewhat the same mannerisms, particularly when they adjust the batting gloves. It's the same way. Very similar setup in the box.
And that pitch is outside, and there'll be a brothers reunion. You see the number 7 on Jeremy's back. That's because Jeremy's dad, a huge Mickey Mantle fan. Now, when Jason was here and he first came up, he couldn't get number 7 because Scott Brocious wore number 7. So he wore number 16 with the A's, which added up to 7. And then when Jeremy came over, Brocious was already with the Yankees, so he took 7. Now, when Jason went to the Yankees, he couldn't get 16 because of Whitey Ford, so he took number 25, which adds up to 7. Pitch to Menachino is outside. And the funny thing is, Whitey Ford said after the case, he said, all he had to do was ask. I would have given him 16. He could have had it.
Yeah, but it's an officially retired Yankee number.
That one is driven out down the right field line. Giving chase on the run is Spencer. He's there, and he puts it away for the first out of the inning. And now the reason Scott Brocious had 7 when he was here was his dad, Maury, was a huge Mickey Mantle fan. And when he came to the Yankees, well, obviously he couldn't have 7.
Because it's an officially retired Yankee number.
But I think that someone who has their number retired could actually give permission to give it to somebody else, I believe.
Yeah, but then it's up to the team whether they want to do it or not.
Right.
I mean, that uniform does not belong to that player anymore. It belongs to the team. And they're the ones who ultimately decide if they're going to let that number go back into service.
And players are very protective of their numbers. I remember when Roger Clemens became a Yankee, he had always worn number 21, and Paul O'Neill did not want to give it up. That one is popped up. Left side, backing up Wilson and Jeter, and Jeter makes the play in fair territory for the second out of the inning.
Jeter had the better angle to go after this pop-up down the line as Wilson was going straight back, and Jeter's coming across in this direction. Wilson fading back, and it looked like he was able to make the play, but Jeter crosses in front of him in a brief collision, or a slight collision, I should say, but the results were there. Jeter makes the play.
Here's Eric Chavez. He is 0 for 3 today in this series, still looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 10. And there's a breaking ball strike. Another strike to Chavez. Jeremy Giambi heading back to first on each one of Choate's deliveries. Well, it looked like a good pitching matchup. Mike Messina against Barry Zito. Barry Zito held up his end, but Mike Messina giving up a 3-run home run to Tejada in the 4th, 2-run home run to Myers in the 6th. He simply did not have it. Randy Choate now on in relief of Messina. Messina went 5 2/3 innings. So the A's trying to win the final game of this 3-game set after the Yankees won the first game 2-1, and they won last night 8-5. 1-2 is swung on a miss. He busted him up and in with a fastball, and Chavez is 0 for 4. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. 7 full in the books. Oakland 6-1 over the Yankees. Chad Bradford takes over for Barry Zito. And remember, tomorrow, the Yankees against the Mariners. The pregame show is at 9 o'clock. Game time at 10 o'clock. The pregame show with Fred Hickman and Susan Waldman. That's at 9. Then Ken Singleton and I call the game from Safeco Field starting at 10. Yankees against the Mariners tomorrow night at 10 right here on Yes. I am looking forward to that series. Arguably 2 of the best teams in baseball, or the 2 best teams in baseball, the Yankees against the M's. Soriano will lead off against the side-winding right-hander Chad Bradford. So Barry Zito goes 7 innings, and he is on the winning side at this point. Soriano struck out twice against Zito and walked. There's a strike. One and 0, 0.96 in 9 games. 9 1/3 innings pitched, 9 hits. He has not walked a batter, which is huge. And he has 5 strikeouts. That one is booped to right field. That is going to dunk in for a base hit for Soriano.
Bradford is not allowed a run in 8 of his 9 appearances this year. He's been very effective. And the Yankees come in with a pitcher with an unusual delivery. And the A's counter with a pitcher with even more of an unusual delivery. Sort of a submarine type pitcher.
Mike Magnante, the left-hander, begins to warm for the A's in their bullpen. Well, Bradford became a side armor in high school. He didn't throw very hard. And his coach at Byram High in Mississippi, a guy by the name of Bill Perry, said, why don't we go unconventional, make yourself a little bit different. And that's what he did. He's very tough on righties, but not that tough on lefties, as most sidewinders are. The opposite batter gets a good look at him. And the pitch is a strike. I would think, Ken, that when you sidearm, it's probably a more natural motion, because as you get tired, if you come overhand, you start to drop your arm, because that's the way your arm feels normal.
If that was the case, they would have put your arm on your hip, though. The 0-1 is up and in. He takes a while to get the ball to the plate. Soriano has had a couple of looks at his delivery. Bradford goes about 6'5", 6'6". Not many pitchers under 6 feet these days.
Well, Soriano's thinking of going.
He better make
it down
exactly.
5 runs.
Now Soriano has seen at least 1 throw over the first base, so he's seen 2 deliveries to the plate, a throw over the first, and he might have a good enough read to think about going to second. But you're right, Michael, if he goes, he better make it.
I would be stunned if he goes. Bernie swings and misses. That a change.
Yeah, some sort of off-speed pitch from that delivery that Bradford has developed over the years. Yep, you can see all his fingers on the ball, so that's going to be a changeup. And what that does, you put all your fingers on the ball and kind of jam it back into your palm, and you still throw it with the same arm motion you would a fastball, but the ball naturally cannot come out of your hand as fast when the ball is sitting on your fingertips for a fastball.
Slice foul. That's been an effective pitch for Orlando Hernandez. Now, he doesn't come completely sidearm like Bradford, but he's 3/4, and you get a good look at him if you're a left-hander, and he's been throwing the change a lot and throwing it effectively. It's made him a very, very good pitcher this year. Because even when he was having his good years with the Yankees, he always struggled against left-handed batters. But not the case this season. One-two. Line drive, base hit to right field. Yankees have a little bit of a rally going. Rounding second and heading to third is Soriano. And Colangelo flips the ball into Menachino. So the Yankees have runners on first and third. Nobody out. Derek Jeter strides to the plate.
It's good to see Bernie Williams swinging the bat much better than he had been recently. 2 hits last night and a walk. 2 hits again today. Looked like another changeup. All the fingers on the ball. And Bernie just goes out and strokes it. Right field, base hit. Kept the hands back, kept the body back, and with Soriano's speed, no problem going first to third. Another look at Soriano. There's no way they can get me.
Here's Derek Jeter 0 for 2 today with a walk. Pitch is inside now. A sidewinder has success against the like side. Now, you never had to experience this as a switch hitter, but is it because players are fearful of getting hit? Is that it?
No, it's because, as you said, you get a better look at the ball from the opposite side of the plate, and you get that split second, millimeter of a second to react to the pitch that you don't get on the same side.
But there's no fear of getting hit. That's not behind it.
I think every hitter on any pitcher, you got to put that back in the recesses of your mind, the fear of getting hit. You stand up, it's just natural. Somebody's throwing something at you or towards you. You know, it's in your mind. But you got to overcome that fear.
So it's just about picking the ball up.
Exactly, and reacting to ball or strike and then swinging. You know, and I think it's more pronounced in a hitter when you go to spring training for the first time, because you've been off for 4 or 5 months, and you haven't seen anything thrown in your direction that you have to react to. And I think you have to get over that fear in spring training. It doesn't take long, but it's there.
There's a strike. You saw that Billy Koch is now up alongside Mike Magnante, so they get up their closer here in the 8th inning. Yankees are trailing by 5 by a 6-1 score, and they're threatening first and third, nobody out. Soriano is at third, Bernie Williams at first, and Jeter at the plate with a 2-1 count. Jason Giambi's on deck. 2-1 is hit softly towards shortstop. Can they get 2? There's 1, and not in time. Jeter tumbles down. Looks like he's okay. Scoring is Soriano. So Jeter will pick up an RBI on the 6-4 force, and by beating out the return throw, he keeps a little bit of a threat alive.
Hustling down the line as he usually does, and Jeter, ball was not hit that sharply. The A's are going to have to be very quick to turn 2 on Jeter. They almost were. See Derek coming across the bag and then tripping in his haste to get to the bag. Look at him hustle. With that long stride at the end. But he's okay. Looks like he just got a dirty uniform.
Picked up his 16th RBI. Art Howe will now go to Magnante, the left-hander, to face Jason Giambi. We're going to step aside for just a moment. When we come back, lefty against lefty, Magnante against Giambi. We're in the 8th inning. Yankees have pushed a run across. They trail 6-2. Derek Jeter is at first base. He just picked up an RBI ground out, and the reason he picked up an RBI is because he hustled out of the box.
Here's another look at it. Bradford's delivery. The grounded to short. Menachino has to hustle. He knows with Jeter going down the line, and Jeter trying to maintain his balance. Good hustle. No harm, no foul.
So they bring in Magnante to face Giambi, and this could be Giambi's last at bat here this year. And the crowd wants to make him remember with some more boos.
And they once again have shifted around defensively.
Let me throw this at you,
Yeah,
Ken.
gotcha.
Okay, they're down by 4 runs. Why doesn't Giambi bunt toward third base?
We'll see.
I mean, they need a base runner, and they're giving him a hit. They might give him a double the way it is. And there's a strike.
I mean, if he does do that, that would leave a lasting impression if this is going to be his last at bat, at least in the regular season here.
There's Magnante's numbers. Swollen 8.53 ERA. And the pitch is grounded toward shortstop Tejada. He flips to Chavez one on the first double play. The shift worked, and a very nice turn of the double play by Chavez, who's a third baseman, but in effect was playing shortstop. For the Yankees, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and because of the double play, nobody left. After 7.5, it's the A's 6 and the Yankees 2. Well, the hits are even, but they don't pay off on that column. It's the column to the left with the R over the top. The A's lead the Yankees 6-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jason Giambi, for most of this series, got the monkey off his back and put him in the stands. But that last time, a very odd 6-5-3 double play. Steve Carsey takes over for the Yankees. He'll be their third pitcher. In 10 games, 3.97 ERA, 11 hits and 11 and a third innings pitched. 4 walks and 9 strikeouts. He has not been, to this point, what the Yankees expected, and Joe Torre not using him in the situations that we thought that he would be used in, and that would be setting up Rivera alongside Stanton in the 8th inning. Instead, Joe has gone more toward Ramiro Mendoza in those spots because he wants Steve Carsey to be a little bit more consistent. Miguel Tejada will lead off against the hard-throwing right-hander. Tejada 2 for 2 with a walk. There's a fastball strike. 94 miles an hour.
Tejada's had a big day with a home run and a single and a walk. The Yankees have yet to be able to retire him.
4 for 10 in this series. And the 0-1. Grounded foul. It was the 4th inning when Tejada connected off Mike Messina.
With 2 men aboard and down the line. Hooks in there for a 3-run homer.
His 5th home run of the year. And 3 in as many games against the Yankees. That one is grounded left side. Tough play for Jeter. He fields in the hole, fires, and the throw pulls Giambi off the bag. So Tejada is 3 for 3. Once the ball got past Wilson, you knew there was trouble.
Wilson unable to pick it, and Jeter forced to go to his right and then throw underhanded across the diamond. Tejada with much too much speed beats it out for an infield hit, and he's aboard for the 4th time. His reaction of Steve Carsey on the mound, who made his big league debut with the Oakland A's back in 1993.
Here's Terrence Long, 0 for 3. Those 3 at-bats against Mike Messina. And that pitch is outside. And strangely enough, Long came into the game 5 for 10 lifetime against Messina.
Carsey, originally a #1 draft pick of the Toronto Blue Jays, and was thought to have been a big-time pitching prospect as a starter.
Lofted down the left field line, but foul.
And in 1993, he was actually traded to the A's for Rickey Henderson when the Blue Jays were making their run for the world title, in which they were successful for the 2nd year in a row. And Carsey, after pitching for Oakland, came up with the arm problems. Big time elbow problems. Went on the disabled list a few times. In fact, 3 times here in Oakland he was on the DL.
Well, Billy Beane said losing Carsey is not one of his proudest moments as a GM.
From here he went to Cleveland.
Who'd they get for him?
And traded him to Cleveland for Mike Fetters.
Yeah, that's why it's not one of his proudest moments. He did a good job with Cleveland. Then toward the end of last year, he got traded to the Braves. Then became a free agent, signed with the Yankees. Grounded foul at first. The Yankees really were trying to fill that setup man right-handed role. And they thought that Carsey was the answer to that. Carsey had a lot of offers from other teams to be the closer. But he's from Queens. He went to Christ the King High School and decided to sign on with the Yankees, a 4-year deal. And you know that you're with the Yankees, you are end up setting up. You are not closing here. That job belongs to Mariano Rivera. And that pitch is swung on a miss. Looked like he pulled the string on that. That's a pitch he doesn't throw that much, and long way out in front, 1 away.
Well, it can be very effective because he has a good hard breaking ball and a fastball in the low 90s, and there's an off-speed curveball. And Long strikes out for the 2nd consecutive time.
Here's Greg Myers. He's 1 for 3 and won a long 2-run home run in the 6th inning. His 2nd home run of the year. Backup catcher here with the A's behind Ramon Hernandez. Hernandez had 3 hits in the last night. They give him the day off today. Outside. There's a strike. 94-mile-an-hour fastball by Carsey.
And he has now pitching from the stretch. He does have very fluid motion. And it's almost, you see pitchers with herky-jerky motion because it shows you that anybody can come up with bad elbow. You know, I think of Jarrett Wright with the Cleveland Indians. When I first saw him pitch, I thought that it was an arm problem waiting to happen. And his shoulder blew out, and he hadn't been the same since.
What is it that makes you think arm problem with the guy?
Well, with Jarrett Wright, he would almost recoil after he didn't follow through. And that puts a lot of strain on your shoulder just to stop it from going forward.
Pitch is swung and missed. The runner goes, and he's in there ahead of the tag by Jeter. Showing you that Art Howe is not that comfortable with a 4-run lead, and he sends Tejada.
A's do not steal very often. In fact, this is Tejada's first stolen base of the season. Fastball swung on a miss. Posada comes up throwing, and the throw is just a little bit to the right field side, and you can see Tejada sneaking in the back door. Jeter having to go for the ball, misses the tag, and Tejada has his first steal of the year. And for the A's, I think that's stolen base number 4 or 5 as a team.
Myers has another RBI opportunity here against Carsey.
Stolen base number 5 for the A's.
And in this lineup, that's the 4th. And the 2-2. Soriano fires to Giambi as Tejada moves to 3rd. 2 down.
Now batting, right-hander Mike Colangelo.
Here is Mike Colangelo. He's 1 for 3. Let's see if Carsey tries to paint the corners.
Makes you wonder if his parents gave him that name on knowing that the people would say Michelangelo.
And the pitch is a strike. I guess if you call him Michael, though, it doesn't come off that way. Michael Colangelo.
Yeah, but they know his nickname would be Mike.
Mike Colangelo.
Yeah.
Very maybe artistic people. The 0-1. Hit sharply to short. Jeter is right there. And he fouls to Giambi, and that will do it for the A's in the 8th. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We played 8 innings here at the Network Associates Coliseum. The Yankees trail 6-2. We go to the 9th. They come up with their last licks. New York Yankees baseball has been brought to you by Coors Light, naturally brewed. Reach for the silver bullet, the pure taste of the Rockies. An overhead view of the Network Associates Coliseum, that little round thing on the left, that's where the Golden State Warriors play. And now we come inside the Network Associates Coliseum where Billy Koch, the closer, will try to close this out. This is not a save situation, a 4-run lead here in the 9th inning. If it was 3 runs, different story. But they just want to get Koch some work against the Yankees, and he will face Posada, White, and Coomer. And the pitch to Posada fouled away.
Koch makes his home in Clearwater, Florida, but originally he's from Long Island. Went to West Babylon High School. Went to Clemson University and was a second-team All-American in 1996. And then the Blue Jays drafted him #1. And his teammate Chris Benson at Clemson was drafted #1 by the Pittsburgh Pirates. So 2 #1 draft picks out of that Clemson pitching staff that year.
The Blue Jays over the winter trying to shed some salary, and they trade Koch to the A's because the A's were trying to replace Jason Isringhausen, who was a free agent and moved on to the Cardinals.
And the Jays got a third baseman out of the deal, Eric Hinsky. Who looks pretty good in the early going. Rookie third baseman.
That one's grounded right side. The rookie first baseman fields and flips the Koch covering one away. Nice play by Carlos Pena, who has shown some pretty good leather in this series. Hey, keep it here at the last out for the Jeep postgame with Fred Hickman and Susan Waldman, featuring complete analysis of today's game, interviews with players, plus all the scores and highlights from around the league. The Jeep postgame immediately following the game right here on Yes. Susan will be working the clubhouse, getting interviews, and we want to stick around for that. Here is Rondell White, 2 for 2, and he was hit by a pitch. And there's a strike. The radar gun says 98 miles an hour on that fastball by Billy Koch.
And here's another guy who's had arm surgery in the past, elbow surgery.
There are those that believe that when you have the Tommy John surgery and it's done well, you actually do throw harder.
Well, they actually strengthen, you don't have that ligament anymore. They use a ligament from your other wrist, and it's a stronger ligament than the one that you were born with. And if they do it right, that your arm is even stronger, and the ability is there to throw harder.
Knowing how people are and how they strive to be great, people just might have elective Tommy John surgery.
Elective?
Sit out a year and throw harder. Fouled off.
Elective Tommy John surgery. Tommy didn't know what he started, huh?
That's right.
You know what?
We're in the top of the 9th inning. At the start, it was a pretty good pitcher's duel, at least on paper. Barry Zito against Mike Messina. But Messina turned in his weakest outing of the year so far. He gave up the 3-run home run to Tejada in the 4th, 2-run shot to Myers in the 6th. Popped up by White. First base side. Pena is there, and he puts it away for the second out of the inning. It is time now for the play of the game, which is brought to you by Continental Airlines, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right.
Shane Spencer coming on, making the diving catch. That's going to be our Continental Airlines play of the game. He's almost airborne.
That was in the 6th inning. Carlos Pena robbed of a base hit by a diving Shane Spencer. Now John Vanderwall is going to pinch hit for Ron Coomer against the right-handed Koch. And the pitch by Vanderwall is fouled back. Vanderwall, an outstanding pinch hitter in his days in the National League. So far this year, 281 with 1 ribby, but he has 17 pinch hit home runs, which is good for 3rd all-time in Major League history. Pinch hitting is certainly an art. The 0-1. Foul back. How about coming up the bench cold and facing 98-mile-an-hour fastballs?
250 career pinch hitting. That's excellent. I know the few times that I did it, I didn't feel comfortable. It's an acquired art for sure.
There are very few regular players that can go on to become good pinch hitters. Chris Chambliss was one that did become a pretty good pinch hitter. Joe Torre raves about the way Chambliss adapted to that new role. Vanderwall's been pinch hitting his whole career. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out on a 95-mile-an-hour heater. So Koch comes on and pitches a 1-2-3 ninth inning to close out this game. While the A's salvage the final game of a 3-game set. The Yankees won 2-1, 8-5, and they lose this 6-2. Plenty more to come. Keep it right here. We'll wrap it up. We'll give you all the information you need. And then after that, the post-game show. So lots to come on Yes. Little kids drove 3,000 miles to see their Yankees, and they are disappointed because the Yankees lose today by a score of 6-2. But if they were here the previous 2 days, they had to be pretty happy. 2-7-0 for the Yankees, 6-8-0 for the Oakland A's. Barry Zito picks up his first win of the season. Mike Messina, his first loss of the season. Time of the game, a manageable 2 hours and 55 minutes. Miguel Tejada 3 for 3, a 3-run home run. Rondell White for the Yankees 2 for 3 with a run scored. Well, here's a look at today's Dodge player of the game. Dodge, get somewhere. Grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Player of the game, Miguel Tejada. This home run in the 4th inning. First of the scoring, a 3-run shot. His 3rd home run in 3 games. Miguel Tejada, the Dodge player of the game.
We've got so much more to come here on Yes as we wrap up this 6-2 Yankee defeat at the hands of the A's. And then after that, the Yankee postgame show with Fred Hickman and Susan Waldman. All things considered, a pretty good trip to Oakland for the Yankees. They take 2 out of 3, and now they move on to Seattle for a matchup of 2 of the best teams in baseball. The Yankees won the first 2 games of this series, and they lose this one by a 6-2 score. Coming up on the Yes Network, the Jeep postgame with Fred Hickman and Susan Waldman, featuring complete analysis of today's game. Special thanks to our producer, Kevin Smolin, director John Moore, and executive producer John Filippelli. Join us again tomorrow for Yankees baseball as the Bombers take on the Mariners in Seattle. The action gets underway at 9 p.m. with the New York Yankees pregame show. For more on the Yes Network, log on to YesNetworkTV.com. For Ken Singleton, I'm Michael Kay, saying see ya from Oakland, California. Once again, the final score of the A's 6, the New York Yankees 2. Now let's go to Fred Hickman in our studio.